Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 12 of What If Naruto Was Neglected by Everyone. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Returned Different after his training trip that I posted on this channel. So go ahead and enjoy that. And over on Anime King 2, I posted a brand new episode of What If Aizuna Uchiha was Naruto's ancestor, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And later on, I'm going to be doing a new episode of What If Naruto's a Vampire over on Anime King 2, so go ahead and check out that as well guys. And stay in tune because on this channel, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto had multiple people sealed inside of him. So stay in tune for that and I hope you guys enjoy each and every episode. And yeah, remember if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoyed the episode on Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, all hell broke loose as Naruto revealed his true intentions. As he spoke telling everyone that what Minato did about the Uchiha massacre, Naruto also set Homura and Koharu on flames with the Amaterasu, as they were one of the big reasons why Naruto suffered as a child, as they were on the civilian side, saying that the civilians should get a chance to vent out their anger, and Minato accepted. As Naruto activated Susanoo and started to wreak havoc on the village, as he sent the two-tailed Nibi inside of the village quarters and chopped everyone in the stadium, as the Nibi started to destroy the buildings and everything, while Shikaku dig underneath the ground with Liz and Menma on his head as he went off. As Naruto told them that he won't destroy the village yet, he will make them know that he's here. He will haunt them in their dreams, knowing that someone can come back at any time and wipe this place off the face of the earth. As he wants them to suffer knowing that one day he will come back and burn everything to the ground. Before he go though, he vanished as he appeared behind Sakura, mother, and stabbed her right through the back, bursting through her chest. As Minato did not understand what is he doing. Naruto isn't teleporting or moving fast, he just blinked out of existence and then appear again. But Minato noticed every time he did that, Naruto's Sharingan, his Mangekyo Sharingan would spin. As Naruto fly up with Susanoo and brought down the heavenly sword and dig into the ground, destroying buildings and killing a lot of people in the process in the main section of the village. But most of them were in the arena grounds where the Chunin exam finals was kept. As Naruto then uses Mangekyo to control the Nibi as the Nibi ran off. As Naruto told them that he will come back one day and he will make all of them suffer. Later that day, Minato was in his office, as Minato was throwing around things, breaking things, as he was beyond pissed. He was going through a bad state right now. Kushina, Mito and Narumi weren't talking to him, as Kushina they couldn't believe that he was the one who had the entire Uchiha clan massacre. Kids were there. He was behind it. He allowed Itachi to do it. As Jiraiya had to came inside and he saw the state of the office as he tried to calm him down. Back at the Uchiha compound, Sasuke was in pure rage as he couldn't believe that Minato was the one who made his brother did that, as he was smashing everything to pieces. He then saw a small white snake appear at his feet. Meanwhile, Naruto gave the 2-bit juice to Obito, as Obito brought him to Nagato as Naruto saw the famous Rinnegan. As Naruto found the boy completely disrespectful, as Naruto wasn't taking any talk or anything from Nagato, as he told them he already has his team, that is Liz and Menma, and seeing that none of the members yet has captured Bijou, they cannot give him any orders. He already captured 2 Bijous, and he's willing to give them the 9 tails when the time is right. So with that, Tendo Pain introduced him to the Akatsuki. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode, shall we? It had been 15 hours since Naruto was introduced to the Akatsuki. One person had a lot of questions in their mind, and that was Itachi. As Itachi knew Naruto, before the Uchiha massacre, Naruto was already taken by Madara, as Itachi had seen him with his black hair and his red eyes, and he's wondering what is Naruto doing here. He can't understand, and he's calling himself Naruto Uchiha? What is going on? As Itachi was currently resting under a tree, Kisame had went off somewhere. You know, said a voice. I thought that you would have hunted me down and tried to get some information on why I'm here. It seems like you're not interested. As Itachi merely turned his head to the right to see Naruto, as Naruto was resting on the same tree, his back leaned against it. As Itachi calmly spoke, you call yourself Uchiha Naruto. Why is that, he said. As Naruto looked at him, his eyes switched from red to the three-totem Sharingan. And how is that possible? I slaughtered my entire clan, and you are not one of them. Your father is a Hokage, and your mother is a Uzumaki, your father is a Namikaze. So I don't understand, Itachi said. Would you enlighten me? Well, the thing is, I can't tell you, said Naruto. But you slaughtered your clan. Why did you do that? And why should I tell you anything, said Itachi, if you won't tell me how did you get your Sharingan? Well, I was just wondering, how long were you going to keep this bullshit up with me, said Naruto. As Itachi narrowed his eyes at Naruto. Yeah, I know, Naruto whispered. You really think that I wouldn't have found out? Minato is a Hokage, for God's sake. I listen, and I'm quite sneaky when I want to be. Wonder what the Akatsuki would think if they knew that you were actually a spy in here. I bet, if it comes to Konoha for you to attack it, to catch me if I was still there, you wouldn't damage a village in the slightest. I know, Itachi, you love that village so much. Yeah, you really love it. And you hate conflict and war. That is why you slaughter your clan to make sure that your clan didn't finish the coup and attack Konoha, because then it will be a civil war. I wonder what pain the leader of Akatsuki would think if he heard about this, Naruto said. As Itachi narrowed his eyes at Naruto dangerously, as Itachi was reaching down. This boy knows too much, and if it comes to it, you will have to silence him. As Naruto chuckled a bit, don't worry, Itachi. It's not like I really care about the Akatsuki as well. I know you don't care about them. If it comes up to them and Konoha, you will choose Konoha in a heartbeat. But, to me, I don't care about neither of them. But you know, Itachi, a time will come, and I want to see what you will do at that chance. As Naruto started to walk away, as he stopped, and by the way he said, not even bothering to turn back around. You're dying, Itachi. Your Sharingan is slowly killing you. The more you use its ability, you're dying. But you should know. As Naruto turned back to Itachi with his monkey the Sharingan activated, I am at 100%. So if you try anything, I'll kill you, Naruto said. As a faint smile then came back on his lips. See ya, he said as he started to walk off. As Itachi watched his body materialize into wind and he vanished. A winged sunshine. As Itachi was in deep in thought, this boy, he seemed to have his own agenda. As he wondered what is the state of Konoha right now. What did he do to the village while leaving? As Itachi was deep in thought. Time skip, a couple of days later, a shouting match could be heard inside of the Namikaze residence. How could you, Kushina screamed. I had to do it for the sake of the village. For the sake of the village? For the sake of the goddamn village, Kushina screamed as she was yelling at Minato. That is the same thing you said when it came to Naruto. That is the exact same thing you said. You had to do it because of the sake of the village, and I don't know why. I followed with your idiotic plan, and look what happened now. Our son is gone. He is completely broken. He no longer wishes to stay here. He plotted his revenge against Konoha. And you see, he has the power. He has the power to control two-tailed beasts. And that giant humanoid figure, I don't even know what it's called again. Susano, said Minato. It doesn't matter what it's called, said Kushina. This is all your fault. If you hadn't pushed him out back then, if you hadn't treated him like trash, and I, like a complete dumbass, went along with you, I should have stuck by my son and slaughtered all these people of Konoha who tried to harm him. Those bastards wanted us to give up our son so that they could take revenge on something that he had no control over, and I let myself follow your stupid, idiotic plan. And look at the state of the village now. The people are scared, and they should be. And a part of me is not angry at Naruto. A part of me understands what he's going through. After showing us all of those images, you can see hot water thrown in his face, being stabbed. If it wasn't for the Kyuubi, we wouldn't even have a son, and we didn't know because we were here at home. All of us, all four of us, eating dinner, enjoying ourselves while our son was out there suffering. And that's all your fault. I am not the only one that went along with it, said Minato as he looked at her. You also didn't say anything else about it. You also wanted to protect Mito and Narume, so you decided to go along with the plan to leave him out. So don't blame all of this on me. You started this in the first place, Kushina screamed, and not to mention what he said. You ungrateful bastard! As she swung a fist at him, but he stepped back. How could you do that? You allow Itachi to slaughter the entire clan, putting young little Sasuke through so much. His mother, my best friend, children, teenagers, adults, old people. You made him slaughter all of them. And you always act so cheery and nice, but you're holding back this deep dark secret just to protect this village? What kind of monster are you? She screamed. If your life hadn't been sacrificed, the state of the village would be in a bad state right now. But Kushina didn't hear that part. The only part she heard was the sacrifice part. As her eyes narrowed dangerously at him, she then looked towards the picture frame and the figurines on the table. As she started to grab them, Kushina, what are you doing? Said Minato, as he then had to duck and dodge as she was throwing all of them at him out of pure rage and anger. Suddenly, both Mito and Narume burst inside. What's going on? Said Narume, as Kushina was hyperventilating, as she was angry, as she clenched her fist tight. Mom, calm down, said Mito, as she held on to her mother. Come on, let's go. As Narume looked at Minato, who was just looking down in shame, as she then scoffed and started to walk away, as Minato didn't even say anything. After they left, Minato just slumped down on the ground. It wasn't his fault alone, that was the only thing on his mind. She played a part in this. She chose to ignore him as well. As Kushina was being carried upstairs by the two girls, she knew that in her heart, she was also to blame for this as well. Meanwhile, Sasuke was currently in the Uchiha compound, as he suddenly heard clashing on the rooftop, when he saw 5 bodies drop to the ground. 5 envoys. It seems like they were watching you like a hawk, kid, said a voice, as Kidamaru stepped out of the shadows. Who are you? Sasuke said. We're here from Lord Orochimaru, said Teiwai as she stepped forward. Yeah, he told us to retrieve you, said Jirobo. So you ready to go, kid? Said Seikon, as Sasuke clenched his fist. That white snake showed him a hologram of Orochimaru, as Orochimaru told him that he will give him great power, but he just has to wait for some time until they arrive. Sasuke didn't know who he was talking about, but now he understands. I am ready, Sasuke said. I've been waiting for you guys. It seems like you're quite eager to join Lord Orochimaru. Alright, brat, meet us at the west gate at 12, and don't be late. You have 10 minutes to pack your things. As Sasuke simply walked off as he started to pack. About 5 minutes later, Sasuke was on the street as he was walking, ready to leave the village. As he was near the park, as he saw Sakura, she was sitting down. As from the look on her face, she was crying, as he remembered that Naruto killed her mother. As Sasuke didn't even have time for that, and he didn't want her to see him, so he just kept on walking. But she turned her head at the right moment. Sasuke, she said. Sakura, he said. Sakura, he said, as the both of them looked into each other's eyes, as she then noticed the backpack on his back. Where are you going? She asked. As Sasuke looked at her, he then turned and started to walk again. As she got up, "Sasuke," she said to him. As he stopped, "I am tired of this village. I don't wish to be here anymore," Sasuke said. "You're leaving?" she asked. "Yes." "Are you going to try and stop me?" he asked her. But he heard nothing, as he then turned to see her on the ground, as she was crying again. "You're leaving me now," she said. "My mom just died, and now you're leaving." As her tears turned into sobbing until it turned to a full-blown crying session. As Sasuke walked over, he looked her directly in the eyes. "I'm sorry, Sakura. This village has nothing more to offer me, and I can't stay and be ruled by that man. Minato Namikaze from now on is my enemy, and I will kill him," Sasuke said. As he placed a hand on Sakura's shoulder. "I'm sorry." As he chopped her in the back of the neck. As she passed out in his arms, he lifted her up and placed her on the bench as he started to walk off. The next morning, Minato was in his office as he just heard the news from Sakura, as that is why he didn't get any report from the Envoy last night. He was so focused on Kushin and the others, and now Sasuke has left the village. Most of the Jonins were outside the village as they were taking part in missions, so Konoha would gather back the money to fix back the village that Naruto destroyed in his leaving. And there was only Genins here, so he has to send them, as he quickly called for Anvu. About 10 minutes later, Narumi, Mito, Shikamaru, and Neji, and also Rock Lee was in the office, as Mito and Narumi refused to look Minato in the eyes, as they didn't have much to say to their father in these days, as things has really gone bad to worse. They took their mother's side on this one, even though all of them was at fault. Even though all of them chose to neglect Naruto, they still took their mother's side, thinking that their father was in the wrong. As Minato then started to spoke, giving them the information about what happened last night, as Sakura had informed them. Sakura was now at home, as she was depressed and sad, and angry at the same time. Her father died when she was still a baby, and now her mother was gone. As she looked around the house, the place was just empty. As Sakura clenched her fists, thinking about him, Naruto, as she didn't even think about Sasuke who just left the village. All of her love for him, it seems like from he left, it just started to drain away. It was replaced with pure anger and hatred of Naruto, as she wanted him to pay. She wanted him to suffer for what he did to her mom, but she just has to find a way. After getting the mission report, the group headed out as they went to go and find Sasuke. Meanwhile, with Naruto, he was currently sitting down on a cliff, as he wasn't wearing any Akatsuki robe. He was wearing a black long-sleeve t-shirt with black pants and ninja boots, but he had on a hood over that covered from his shoulder straight down, as he was just watching the scenery. Beside him, the ground then started to shake as Black Zetsu emerged. I have some information for you," said Black Zetsu. "And what's that?" Naruto asked. "It seems like the Uchiha has left Konoha." "Sasuke?" Naruto said. "You don't find that odd?" asked Black Zetsu. "No, I knew it was going to happen," said Naruto. "After I gave him the information, I knew that he would run away and try to seek power. But to kill who? My father or Itachi same way?" "I wonder," said Naruto. "So you planned to do this? You knew that this was going to happen," said Black Zetsu. "Yeah." "So where is the Uchiha right now?" "He's still in the forest of Konoha. They're trying to head to the border." "There?" Naruto asked. "He's being accompanied by Orochimaru's man, the Sound 4. Said Naruto. "What is Menma and Liz doing?" Naruto asked. "Menma is still training Liz," said Black Zetsu. "They're at your hideout." "Alright, just leave them. It's wise for Liz to get as strong as she can be," said Naruto as he got up. "I'll handle this." "What are you going to do?" asked Black Zetsu. But Naruto didn't answer as he jumped off the cliff, as Black Zetsu moved forward to see Naruto, as he flipped and landed on a tree as he started to dash through the woods. Meanwhile, with the Konoha team, it has been some hours, as Mito was now facing off against Kimimaro. As Mito was panting as she had to dodge multiple bone strike as he was trying to cleave her right in half. The others had stayed behind to take care of the Zone 4, so it's just her, as Sasuke was in that strange coffin over there, as she had to jump away as bones break from the ground. As Mito looked at him, she had to do the secret technique that her mother was teaching her. Both her and Narumi were working on this, and now it's her time, as chains extended from her back and rushed towards Kimimaro. Kimimaro smirked as he threw several bones towards them, but the chains break through the bones and dash towards him. Stronger than I thought, said Kimimaro, as he quickly slammed his hand on the ground as bones break out of it right in front of him, stopping the chains. As Mito was panting, damn it, I can't get past this guy, she thought, as she looked at the coffin. She then noticed smoke coming from it. As the both of them watched, the coffin lid exploded, and Sasuke in his level 2 current state came out, but his body quickly went back to normal. Sasuke! Mito screamed, but Sasuke was looking at his hands. Hey, Uchiha, said Kimimaro, as he pulled something from his robe. As he tossed it towards Sasuke, you will find someone there waiting for you. Just head there. Sasuke looked back at Mito. Sasuke, what are you doing? Said Mito. Let's go back home. Sasuke merely huffed as he jumped away, as he hated seeing her. She was the daughter of the man that made his life hell. Minato was responsible for that. He was the one who gave Itachi the mission, and Sasuke had his goals. He will make both of them pay Itachi for being stupid enough to take that mission instead of helping out his family. As Sasuke just jumped away, as Mito tried to rush after him, but she was sent flying back as a foot made contact with her stomach, as she crashed into a tree. As Kimimaro rushed forward, but before he could attack her, bugs appeared out of nowhere and surrounded him as he had to jump away. Huh? Shino, said Mito. Yeah, said Shino in his stoic tone. Your father was worried about you guys. He sent help, me and the others. What about the others? Are they fine? Mito asked. Yeah, said Shino. Yeah, one of them is right behind me. As Kimimaro had to jump out of the way, as a Rasengan slammed into the ground, destroying it. As Narumi stood there, Narumi, Mito said. Mito, get up. Where is Sasuke? Asked Narumi. He ran off. We have to go get him then. As Narumi started to run, but Kimimaro appeared in front of her. But before he could strike her, bugs swarmed him. I'll hold him off. You two, go ahead and retrieve Sasuke, said Shino. Don't worry, Shino. Help will be here soon. They're finishing taking care of the others, said Narumi. Don't worry. I'll handle this guy, Shino said, as the two of them quickly dashed forward. Sasuke! Narumi cried out, as she saw Sasuke ahead, but he wasn't stopping. What's wrong with him? Asked Narumi. I don't know. I think that seal is controlling him or something. He won't even look at me. Well, he could be angry about the dad thing. Oh, yeah, Mito said, looking down. He could be pissed off about dad and what he did to his entire clan. We cannot think about that right now, said Narumi. Let's go. Some minutes later, Sasuke stopped at the Valley of the End. As both girls saw him, he was just looking ahead of him. When they arrived, they were beyond shock, as they saw Naruto sitting down there. As Naruto was resting, his back leaned against Madara Uchiha. As Sasuke saw Narumi and Mito coming, as he flipped off of Hoshirama's head and run down the stone as he appeared on the lower half. As both Narumi and Mito did the same. As the both of them looked at Naruto, while Sasuke was narrowing his eyes at Naruto, wondering what he was doing here. Naruto, Mito said. That's my name, he said, looking up. What are you doing here? Asked Narumi. That's the first thing you have to say to me, said Naruto. No, Mito said, we want you to come back home. Naruto gave a small chuckle. You really think that I'll listen to you? He asked. No, Mito said. Huh, honest, said Naruto. The thing is, we know that dad was wrong. We know what he did to you was wrong. Shut your mouth, said Naruto, as pure hate was emanated from him. What dad did was wrong? I know this would have happened. You all blame Minato, even though I hate the man with all of my gut. I hate you all as well. Why? Asked Narumi. Because you stood there and watched. All of you watched while I was getting beaten in that alley. The first time you tried to do something, but Minato, he convinced all of you to stop and leave me be. And I suffered watching my family walk away while I was getting beaten, the crap beaten out of me. And now you think that it was only Minato. Well, it wasn't. You all are to blame for that. I hate all of you, said Naruto, as he fully stood up. He then snapped his head towards Sasuke. Uchiha, where are you going? He asked, as Sasuke was about to protest or say something bad. But Sasuke quickly held his tongue, as he remembered what Naruto did. I asked you a question, Uchiha. Answer me, said Naruto. I'm leaving, Sasuke said. Where to? Naruto asked. Orochimaru, Sasuke said in a stuttering tone. Oh, you want power, Naruto said. You wish to get stronger to exact your revenge on Minato or your brother. As Sasuke didn't answer. You know, I saw your brother recently. What? Where? Sasuke asked. Sorry, but I can't give you that information. You're too much of a child right now. That is why. Go ahead. What? Said Sasuke. You heard me. Go ahead. Get strong enough. Once you're strong enough, I'll find you. And I'll tell you exactly where Itachi is. Because at this level, trust me, you cannot fight your brother. He will tear you into pieces. But I doubt that he would do that. He would probably let you win or probably smack you away, saying that you're too young to face him. So that is why. Naruto then gestured for Sasuke to walk off. Go. I'll give you free reign. Go and meet with Orochimaru and get stronger. But Narumi quickly walked forward. Naruto, I know that we've done some bad thing to you in the past. Yeah, said Mito as she stepped forward. You're still our brother, but we can't allow Sasuke to get away. It is our mission to stop him. Naruto turned his head towards the both of them. Uchiha, go, he said, not looking at Sasuke, as Sasuke quickly started to walk off. Chains extended from Narumi's back as they flew towards Sasuke. But Naruto stepped in the center as the chains wrapped around him. Go, Mito, said Narumi, I'll hold him. But those words quickly died in her throat as the chains were blown away. What the hell? Said Narumi as Naruto stood there. Uchiha, you're wasting my time. Go on ahead, Naruto said, as Sasuke didn't say anything but ran off. As Narumi quickly went through hand sign. I'm sorry, Naruto, she said. Water style. Violent water wave. As the water beneath him started to twist. As a violent wave of water rushed towards Naruto, aiming to consume him. As it washed over him, swallowing him into the abyss. Now, let's go, said Mito. We have to get Sasuke. But what about him, said Narumi. He won't die. Come on, let's... But she quickly stopped, as Naruto was already in front of her. All of the wind was knocked out of her as a fist planted into her stomach. She was sent skyrocketing as she slammed into the statue of Hashirama, as she collapsed and fell face first. As she was twitching all over, her body was in extreme pain, as Narumi stood there with wide eyes. Naruto, how can you do that? We're your sister, she said. None of you mean nothing to me. So back then, when you were acting all friendly with us, it was just an act? You never really cared about us? Yes. I just wanted to feel what it feels like to be a part of the family. And I must say, it disgusted me. As Naruto charged forward, now it's your turn, he said. But before he could grab her, as she closed her eyes, she didn't feel anything. She slowly opened her eyes to see Kakashi as he held on to Naruto's arm. Narumi, take Mito and go, said Kakashi. As Naruto looked Kakashi dead in the eye. Huh, Hatake, you did this once before, and I told you that I'll kill you if you do it again. Well, I was going to kill you back then, but my father got in my way. Now, but before Naruto could do anything, He had to tilt his head and dodge 3 kunais rushing towards him. As these kunais were from Kurenai, as she had a bloodthirsty look in her eye with pure rage and anger, as she was squeezing her fist tight, as Naruto broke the hold that Kakashi had on him, as he jumped towards Kurenai. Kurenai, we shouldn't kill him, said Kakashi. Why not, said Kurenai. He deserved to die after all the people that he killed. Remember, he left that girl an orphan right now. Your student, she's always crying and always in a sad mood. And he let the Uchiha get away. He's responsible for everything. He should die, said Kurenai. As Narumi held up Mito, who was bleeding from her forehead, to connect with the ground, and her body was in severe pain. But her eyes, one of her eyes was still open. Narumi, we have to get him back home, said Mito. We can't do that now. You're in no shape to fight, and Naruto is a lot stronger than myself. But I'm just hoping that these guys, Kakashi and Kurenai, will be able to stop him. Our mission is clear, Kurenai. We're to capture him and bring him back to the leaf. We are to make him serve proper judgment. Well, if I get the chance, I'm gonna kill him, said Kurenai. As Kakashi narrowed his eyes at her. This guy was his student's son, but Naruto has fallen off the tracks, and he had done so many horrible things. As Kakashi didn't say anything, as Kurenai take that as a yes, so she get the chance she will kill him. As Naruto stood there, unfazed and unaffected by anything that they just said. You two really think that you have the power to take me down? Before this battle start, you should know that I had never shown any of you the true power of the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And back in Konoha with my Susanoo, you should know that is not the complete level of the Susanoo. I don't deem any of you fit to see that power. None of you are on the level that you should be to face me. So I kindly suggest that you all just go back home before I slaughter each and every one of you. I am not planning on attacking or killing anyone in the village yet. I already told all of you that I'll make you wish. I'll make you pray at night that you would have never hurt me that day. Those lots of days. Because you don't know when I'll come. As Naruto then turned and started to walk away. Where is Menma and Liz? Asked Kakashi. What have you done to them? You're using them in some way. Stupid fool, said Naruto. You should know. I'm not using them in any way. They saw how much I went through. They saw the pain and suffering. They joined me on their own free will. They're with me to the bitter end. So never say I'm controlling them. They're on my side 100%. And it's all of you that they hate, not me. As Naruto started to walk again, you really think that we're gonna let you go, said Kurenai. As she went through hand sign, she slammed her hand on the water as a water dragon came from the water and tried to rush at Naruto. As Naruto stood there perfectly calm as the water dragon smashed right where he was and the water burst up in the air. I got him, Kurenai said. Oh, did you now, said a voice. As a kick planted in her stomach as she was sent sailing back as Kakashi was the one who jumped behind her and grabbed her. Kakashi, don't worry about me. Get him, said Kurenai. As Kakashi quickly went through hand sign. Water style. Water dragon, he said. As he created another water dragon that rushed towards Naruto. Naruto jumped up in the air as Kakashi jumped up to meet him. As Kakashi pulled his kunai and tried to slash at Naruto. But Naruto twisted his body in mid-air as he went over Kakashi's shoulder. But Kakashi grabbed his hand and spinned him around and sailed him towards the ground. But Naruto grabbed onto Kakashi's leg as the both of them were sent spiraling down as there was a boom as they crashed into the water as the water burst forward. As the both of them picked themselves up standing on the water surface again. Naruto then had to flick back as 3 more kunais and shurikens came towards him as he landed on the water gently. You're gonna have to do much better than that to kill me, Kurenai, he said. I wonder, how's Kiba, he asked. Kurenai gritted her teeth. Don't talk about him, you monster, she said. Monster? If I was a monster, I would have destroyed the hospital and killed countless of people just to kill Kiba inside. So, don't call me a monster. The next time you do, I'll make it hurt. And don't you think my actions are justified? Mito, he said, as Mito slowly lifted up her head, as blood was still leaking down, as Narumi was doing her first aid medical ninjutsu on her. She wasn't that good, but Tsunade teach her a few things here and there, so she could at least help her. Mito, after all I went through, don't you think it's just for me taking revenge on Konoha and all of you? Even though they're your family and Narumi is your sister, all of you all made me suffer and you just enjoy. You know much time I was starving outside. There's a lot of time that Kushina forget to give me lunch or anything. So I was starving, watching you guys through the window, or probably locked up in my room hungry, thinking that I would die from hunger. Did you ever know what that felt like? No, you didn't, because all of you enjoy dinner every night, prepared by your mother. You get hugs, kisses, and all that. She always was there for you, taking care of the both of you when you were sick. But not me. I was treated like garbage. I was treated like trash. And now, tell me, don't you think it's justified for what I'm doing? He asked. No, Mito said. There you go again, lying to yourself, said Naruto. This is going to continue over and over again until I finish all of it. But not today, he said, as he turned and started to walk away again. The next time one of you attack me, I'll make sure you don't come out fully perfect, he said. As Kurenai didn't take that, as she rushed forward. Kurenai, stop, Kakashi shouted, as she was rushing in blind. As Naruto spun around, as Kurenai tried to jam him right in his neck with her kunai. But Naruto ducked under it as he drove his hand forward. But Kakashi appeared in the center and planted a devastating kick right in Naruto's stomach, as Naruto was blown back on the water. As Kurenai quickly jumped forward and she brought the kunai down to stab it right in his chest. As Kakashi noticed something, he was about to try and stop her, but it wasn't fast enough, as Kurenai was leaking blood from her mouth the next second. As her eyes went wide as she looked down to see Naruto's hand covered in fire, as it was through her stomach. Something I picked up from Menma, he said, as Kakashi rushed forward, as Naruto flung Kurenai at him, as Kakashi caught her, as he quickly placed her down on the ground, as she was bleeding out right in front of him. Better get her back to the village, or she will die, Naruto said. Well, that's all I came here to do. Next time you see my face, Hatake, someone will die. So be prepared, said Naruto. What happened next shocked all of them. As Naruto poofed away, it was just a clone? As Mito and Narumi were beyond shock. Mito, Narumi, said Kakashi, snapping them out of their daze. As they quickly rushed over to the bleeding Kurenai, the both of them tried their best to deliver medical ninjutsu to her. Meanwhile, the real Naruto was resting in a tree. As he got the memory from his clone, it seems like it's done, he said. Not too far away from him was Tendo Pain, as he had an angry look on his face. Time skip. Hours later, Naruto was currently standing in front of Nagato. Obito brought him here and said that Nagato wished to talk to him, and Obito said that he would be right back, as Konan was next to him as usual. What is it, Naruto asks. We told you not to put yourself in the spotlight. You've already taken two-tailed beasts. A lot of the villages are after you right now, and we don't want Akatsuki's name on the map yet. What were you thinking? Asked Nagato in a very serious voice. I wasn't connected to the Akatsuki in any way, said Naruto. So don't raise your voice at me. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Today with the Uchiha, said Nagato. Were you watching me? Said Naruto, as he narrowed his eyes at the man very dangerously. Because if you were, I would wonder what kind of partnership is this? Do you not trust me or something? I don't, Nagato said. I don't understand why Madara brought you here. You're nothing but a foolish child. You should watch your words wisely. And why is that, Nagato asked? Do you really think you can test me, boy? As Naruto noticed The 6 passed of pain, then moved a bit, as they were in the room as well. No, Naruto said, but you should know, there will come a time when things will change. And what's that supposed to mean? As Naruto turned and started to walk away, but suddenly Tendo grabbed his hand. I'm not finished yet. As Naruto's Sharingan quickly activated, that's enough, said a voice, as Madara materialized out of a swirling vortex. Naruto, he's right. You're drawing too much attention to yourself. We told you that the plan will start in 3 years. So for now, we want you to settle down. And don't do anything stupid. I guess you're right, said Naruto. Now, get your puppet off me. As he noticed both Nagato and Konan eyed Naruto when he said puppet, but he didn't say anything about that. As Naruto walked towards the edge as he could see the rain village. Always raining, he said. At least the rain is quite soothing. As he sat down. Meanwhile, at Konoha, Minato was in his office. It was yet again a wreck, as he just got the information about what happened today. As he was slumped down on the floor, as Minato didn't know what to do. His wife and his children weren't talking to him. His son is a criminal, and they will have to put his name in the bingo book soon. He then heard a knock on his door. Go away, he said. But the person opened and come inside. I thought I told you to. He then noticed it was Danzo. Lord Hokage, said Danzo. I believe that you need my assistance. With what? Asked Minato. Well, let's talk, Danzo said. But guys, I'll be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part, if you already know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to choose all of your friends your social media platform. But for now guys, I'm out here and stay tuned for the rest of the what is coming your way. But peace.